you guys kind of, I feel like, regrouped, and you were one of the first like independent labels to start using the internet.
That's true, yeah. That had more to do with Domino, though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, because at that point, buying shit on the web,
It hadn't
peop-
hit right
yeah,
just yet. Yeah,
putting in your credit card on a website
yeah, that
was
was
a
crazy.
little funny.
That
Like,
was crazy. Yeah,
people thought they would lose all their money. So, but you guys actually saw the future. You saw the vision of it all
I guess. Yeah.
and started putting out your own shit, selling your own merchandise online. And did that have a big effect back then?
And talk to Dom about that. Really, like, no, I wasn't tripping. Like, whatever worked,
Okay.
let's go. You know what I mean? Like, really, this dude named Stinky. He had a fan website. Tajay had a lot to do with this too, and Tajay kind of peeped who Stinky was, and he already had like this fan site. So I think Tajay was like, "Yo, let's make this like an official, site, a home online for hieroglyphics." And I think from there, things started to formulate with the help of Stinky too, because he already online and kind of knowing what he do. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I said, Dom got a lot to do with this too. You know what I mean?
Well, then you and Dan the Automator hook up,
Yep.
and you guys do Deltron 3030.
Actually, I did some stuff with him and Prince Paul first.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, on which project?
Handsome Boy Modeling School.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that.
So that's kind of where I started getting in the mix with them. You know what I mean?
Okay, and then you came out with the joint album with Dan.
With the Deltron or whatever. Yeah, somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying?
Why that name? You were just an anime fan, and
Basically, I kind of based it on Rockman. You know, they had the Rockman X or whatever, or Mega Man X.
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of was basing it on that. Like, you got Mega Man, but then you got the super duper Mega Man that had the souped up graphics. He looked kind of cleaner, a little bit more teenagey, kind of like it was more. He could do more saucier stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of was looking at it like that, and kind of was trying to see, like, could I even base that on, the existence, like, like as a marketing thing, like, did it make sense to even go further with that? And kind of thought of like, yeah, it's enough they're different with that it wasn't like just another Dell record.
yeah.
So I ran it by Dom, really, and I guess he ran it by Automator, by Dan. I did a song called Cyberpunks, is what he reminded me of now. And that kind of was like the beginning of that type of thing that I was doing with Deltron.
How did it do?
It was more famous, like people got into it more and heard it more than I think record sales could look like, you could appreciate from just looking at the record sales. That didn't really say much about it, but you start hearing people going nuts about it.
Yeah.
Like years after, like it'd be like a decade later, and fools is like, man, that Deltron, oh my God, it became like a legendary to fools, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and then the Gorillaz came around. Now, did you already know about these guys before? Well, I guess Dan the Automator was fucking with them?
He was working on that kind of at the same time we was working on Deltron.
Okay.
So he was finishing that up around the same time. And he was letting me see like the concept art and stuff from it, right? So I recognized the concept art from Dude to Do Tank Girl. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to be a fan of Tank Girl.
Oh, that's where it came from?
Yeah, it's the same
okay.
artist, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, the same artist?
Yeah, so I recognized the Gorillaz artwork, like that's Dude to Do Tank Girl, you know what I'm saying? So I was interested in it just because of that. You know what I'm saying?
I never made that connection.
I'm a big comic book fan, so stuff like that, like I peak, like, oh, okay. And like I said, I'm a visual artist first. So I was just tripping off that alone, you know what I mean?
Okay. And the group was essentially the cartoon.
Basically.
Because I've never actually seen them.
Yeah, that's the whole concept they had behind it. Like, okay, I'm gonna draw the shit, and then he gonna do the music, and this is just something that they did for them, kind of, you know what I'm saying? And then it ended up turning into something way bigger than that. But it started off with just something that,
right?
You know, because
they were all like in other groups before, and is that what it is, or?
Well, yeah, basically, like, Damon he was part of a group called Blur. They already was selling millions of records and shit, you know what I'm saying?
So this was his side project then?
Mm-hmm, yeah, it's just something he was doing.
They got bigger than the main project.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. So then Clint Eastwood. How much of it was done when you got it?
All of it.
Just had the space for the verses.
Nope, the verses was already done by some other rappers.
Oh,
The record was like finished, but like at the last moment, I guess Dan was like, "Hey, could you come up with some new lyrics for this?" Like he's the last. While he had me there, I guess he was like, "Okay, well, since I got him here, let me get him up in here and do some other lyrics. I know you could do some better lyrics than what
okay.
they
Do
got."
you remember who the rapper was originally?
Nope.
No idea. So they bring you this song.
Not even bring me this song. Like Dan is finishing up the record the same time he's finishing up Deltron,
Aha.
and he has this idea that he want to do with this song because I guess for whatever reason he think I could come up with better lyrics for the song.
Okay, so you come up with better lyrics for the song.
He basically sticks me there and wait, like, I'm ready to go home at that point. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to go home. I'm finished with my shit. Take me home. And like, you could do it like in like 30 minutes, I know, tops. I'm like, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
So you put together the verses.
Based on a book that I read about writing hit songs, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like I was studying songwriting basically at the time.
Okay.
You know, like how to really put together a real song. So I used what I learned from
that book.
Studying that shit with that song.
When you did it, do you have any idea what it was about to do?
Not really, but I put into it what I thought you should put into a song when you make a song. You know what I mean? Like you want it to do good or you want it to reach people. I put that into it.
Okay. Because at this point, people are fucking with you, but you have no gold or platinum plaques for your solo stuff.
Nah.
You're, I wouldn't say underground, but you're doing your thing, consistently putting out stuff, but nothing's really going way over the top. But when this drops, well,
actually, it didn't even, when it dropped, it didn't even do that immediately.
Was the video, did it drop with the video or no?
I started hearing, like, people started coming up to me on the block and shit, like, yo, Del, like, that's this new song you got is crazy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Your new song you got out. I'm like, what new song? You don't know? They like laughing at me and shit. Like, it's playing on the radio all the time, dude. You don't know about your own song? It's a hit song. I'm like, no, what is you talking about? Like, something about Gorillaz, and I'm like, Gorillaz? Like, no, you can't be talking about that. Like I'm just not knowing. You know what I'm saying? They like, yeah, Gorillaz, like, it's playing all the time on the radio. Like, you don't know about it, dude? Like, so that's how I find out that it's popping or whatever.
Okay.
People just told me about myself on the street, basically.
Well, the name Clint Eastwood, was it because it had like sort of like a Clint Eastwood type beat?
I don't know at all. Like you gotta.
So you didn't name that song?
It has nothing to do with me except the lyrics. Like he just said, write what you think it means. You know what I'm saying? Like he was very vague. Like, okay, the dude is like a ghost that lives in their head or in the drums of Russell and of his dead friend or whatever. And that's pretty much all he told me. It's like, whatever you feel like you should write, it's fine. It's exactly what Dan told me. I'm like, okay, great. Okay, well, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And I just came up with some kind of narrative from that, like just a spiritual type of, feel to it. You know what I mean?
From the point it's getting played on the radio to the point it hit MTV, because at that point MTV was a big deal.
Right.
You needed to have a big video on MTV if you had a hit song.
Right.
The video was like
all dudes' artwork.
Yeah. It was a masterpiece.
Yeah, like I said though, but that's why I even got into the project in the first place, because dude always been raw since he was drawing Titan Girl. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember his name right now. I keep forgetting his name. You remember? Jamie Hewitt. Right, Jamie Hewitt, right. Dude always been raw since the 80s. So that's the main reason why I was even paying attention to the shit in the first place, because he was drawing all the concept art. So when they did the video, they kept his style of art in the video, actually, and just made it hella cleaner. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I love when people do that, like when they keep your style of the art with the characters in the video or whatever animation it is.
Right, and you are a big blue character.
Well, that's the ghost that's living inside the drum.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say that's me. Like, that's whatever the
Right.
concept was.
Right.
They stuck my voice to it or whatever.
But
like,
yeah, they weren't trying to make it look like you.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Gorillaz world. Like, as far as his vision of the world and shit, that was the top. You know what I'm saying? That was the pinnacle of his vision for the artwork, was that video. And I would say that that's the reason why it blew up so much. Because the song is cool, but that video is cooler than the fucking song is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
that video's stupid, dude.
yeah, that video was retarded.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's his art, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, back in the day, they had a Tank Girl movie with Ice-T in it.
Yeah, I remember.
Live, and that,
Yeah.
it didn't pop.
He was a dog, I think.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, it was live action and shit. So that was the first time Jamie was one of his artwork got out there, and it didn't really represent him like accurately. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't what it was. This time though, that was his shit to a T. You know what I'm saying? Everything about that shit.
Right, because he did the animation for the video.
Yeah, well, his concept art is what they drew it from. I don't know if he drew every animation cell to make the animation,
Right.
But they stuck to what his shit looked like. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, it was represented well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think that's what really, his characters is cool, man. Like he's dope, really.
Well, and then it goes platinum.
Yeah, it goes platinum, but yeah, it's going to after you see that. Who ain't gonna watch that video? You know what I'm saying?